You're a radical, so could be the most famous person in America of our generation, of my generation. I just turned 64. O.J. Simpson is dead. He's died of prostate cancer. And so I want to talk about, I'm a 12-year cancer survivor. And I want to talk, I'm a one percenter. I want to talk about multiple different cancers today, including prostate cancer. Now, O.J. Simpson, good, bad, whatever. Of our generation, oh, please. I mean, I think a lot of my people my age's strongest first sport memory in the history of their life. I mean, one of my, I remember the first Super Bowl, which wasn't called the Super Bowl, and they had those two giant robots as a little kid coming out watching with my dad. And I remember watching the Super Bowl with Namath with my Uncle Raymond's telling, arguing with my, he says, no, they're going to upset him. My dad's like, you're crazy. But for us kids, as far as the sport goes, it was O.J. Simpson, Rose Bowl. And then when he went to the Bills, the snowstorm game, we're like, oh my God. Yeah, I mean, could be the most famous person in America. Well, maybe of our generation, maybe in the world, is dead. Now let's talk about prostate cancer. So, as you know, there's been lots of crazy things tried for prostate cancer. The pellets, the blasting, the radiation, early diagnosis, everything, oh, big time. Now, I'm an AML Leukemia survivor, but for cancer research, PhD, so I don't eat, sleep, drink it. I sleep with it. You know, I watched my father die of AML. So prostate cancer is important. There's a way. If you get early diagnosis, you know what they do. If it hasn't got to the bone yet, they just go and cut it out. It's kind of like breast cancer now. The survival rate on breast cancer is 98, 99%. If they get the early diagnosis, they cut them off. You know, the maintenance chemo, I don't even think people need it. If they cut it off and get it, we know that it works. Same with prostate. We know that it works. If it's in the bone, they have ways to try to slow it down, but they can't cure it. And so early diagnosis is everything on prostate health. And so, unbelievable. If the glove fits, I was given 2 months to live in 2011. What a story, right? What a hard journey. Fighting cancer, once you get that diagnosis. Early signs, I didn't have a lot of early signs. I had a little tickle in my stomach, and then leukemia can present tumors. You know, it's down here. I misdiagnosed over and over and over. Finally figured it out. I went from 170 to 130 so fast. This is important. Dropping libido. Oh boy. Oh boy. Rapid weight loss. Fatigue. Loss of appetite. Those are the hallmarks of any cancer. Now, I didn't have any of those. I had some blood in my stool that I thought, because I'd been at Del Mar drinking beer that summer. You know, I used to drink a lot of dark beer. But I could sense something. I remember feeling something electric. I remember telling some friends. And the intuitive mind, you go there, I could just feel an electricity in my body. It's not right. You know, and I kind of blew it off. Cancer screening is important, really important, but you can only do so much. Prostate diagnosis is very easy. You know, the P test, what do they call it? The PSA, very, very accurate. I mean, it's that simple, but unless you have one of those symptoms, you probably don't need that test. I mean, they're intrusive, whatever, all these different tests. And it's dangerous because I got a bad test as of recently. It scared the fuck out of you, you know. This is a tough battle. But whatever you say about OJ, well, the facts are the facts. I mean, probably the most famous person of our entire is dead. Of cancer. Of cancer. You know, you go along with your whole genetic code. My dad died of cancer, leukemia. big family. A bunch of his family's still alive in their 90s. No cancer in that family. 0.0 in that Blanch family. But he was right there in Vegas. He was human lab rat at the Marine. He was sending out from the Marine. Air Blast 1. How do you think I got it? You know, and then he came home and made children. Where did OJ live? You think it went away? I avoid Vegas like the plague. I used to love Las Vegas when I was young. I was a gambler, but that's back when it was cool. You go down there and have your 99-cent food. I mean, they were cordial to you. It was fun. It's a ripoff now. All of that is a ripoff. What ain't in this country? So, if the glove fits, you have these symptoms. You have any of these symptoms, you need to start freaking getting screened. Now, blood tests can tell a lot these days. Back when I got in 2011, you know, I got bone marrow biopsy. That's the final solution there as far as the cancer goes. I mean, it almost was the solution, right? They going through your hip. And where did I see on the internet popped up on an ad the other day? Cato? Yeah, there it was. I was like, what the hell? And I go on. So I see the white Broncos are really back in vogue right now. So if the glove fits, you have one of these symptoms. Again, dropping libido is a big one. Rapid weight loss. Loss of appetite. Fatigue. These are hallmarks of cancer. If you don't have one of those symptoms, is it possibly highly unlikely? But as far as the prostate cancer screening, you know, you got to get up and urinate constantly. You know, but as we get older, that's pretty typical. But when it's getting too much, and depending if you're sexual active or not sexual active, you know, that's another big deal that needs to be debated in this said thing. He died of prostate cancer at 76 years old. We all remember our generation, the athlete. He's from the Bay Area. Whoa. Beast. I shook his hand right over there. He, Hertz was big here. Jerry Peterson died of cancer. So did his wife, who was a famous dude here in Ogden. Big Blue One Hearst. And so he came here for a party they had, and you know, back then when people liked me in this town, I met him. And I remember shaking his hand. I remember standing next to him, and he was older then. You know, not that old. You know, this is 25 years ago, 50-ish. I'm like, whoa. I remember standing next to him, and I mean, shaking his hand. I'm like, whoa, whoa. That was a beast. So, we all know how it played out. We all know how it played out. His life. Could be the most famous person in the world of our generation. You know, we all remember that 68 Rose Bowl. We all remember that Buffalo Bills freaking team. The Dolphins, they have the electric company. But the Bills, oh, they have the juice. The juice is dead. The juice is dead. The juice is dead. I wouldn't wish cancer on anyone. Brutal. Sad. All cancer is sad. And for the most part, it is man-made. Radioactive. The half-life of these fallout to the Nevada test site is millions of years. So you can go on your genetic rant all you want and avoid the environmental exposure. The juice is dead. Stand tuned.